Hi guys.
Hi.
So we are I had to start Danielle so she'd focus because she was really.
I didn't want to focus.
It's been a hard focusing week. We've had to put together the entire yarn shop again. It was a lot.
Last weekend we were at the Puyallup Spring Fair.
Yep.
And we started a bunch of new spinners, and we sent all the spinners to come see us on a video.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Well, there's Danielle. I'm holding it.
I know. Because our tripod is somewhere.
I don't know where it is.
It went with us to the
Fiverr show
Market Day in Redmond, Oregon, and it is MIA.
It's somewhere.
It's been missing since Redmond, which was like 4 weeks ago. We're doomed. We might need to order a new one. So I have our basic spindle here from our spindle kit. It's naked. I have some Border Leicester roving. See, it's been a week. And I'm going to, again, from the very beginning, give you a beginning spindle lesson.
You guys feel free to ask any questions. I can see your questions, hopefully. And we can answer them.
All the questions, we'll answer this.
Even if you have a personal question or anything, we'll answer those too.
Yeah, this is like Q&A with spindling.
With lack of coffee, so we're good.
I gulped my coffee. It had 3 shots. I am... Somewhere in this video, you'll see me become human. So you take your spindle. I'm not sure if they can see this.
Yes, they can.
I'm going to hook it into my fiber somewhere.
I can zoom it in even.
Okay, so I have a little bit on it. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. You don't want to like death grip this hand because you won't be able to pull the fibers at all. They have to slide past each other. You're just there for guidance. I'm going to spin it clockwise. I have to always think about this because sometimes I spin it counterclockwise and that's
clockwise is to your right, towards your right hand.
If you pull too hard, that happens. Watch Danielle do a bad demo.
That's okay. I'm just going to sit over here.
You're just going to sit over there. Okay, Danielle's going to do it again. Clockwise, again. Jeez. I cannot do to the right, but clockwise makes sense in my head.
I know, but I was just thinking about the fact that now kids aren't going to know what clockwise is.
Because,
we only have a couple more years of clockwise.
Oh.
Like, what are we going to do then? So I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it. Right now, I just blew your brain because you have never.
This is so bad. Okay, so I'm continuing to go clockwise.
Like, how are we going to do this when the kids don't know what clockwise is?
Oh.
I just made her head hurt.
So I just took it off. And it's kind of almost a little panic-stricken, but it don't be worried.
It'll stay together. It's yarn. It wants to stay together.
Yep. So there's a loop at the end. I'm going to slide it onto the shaft. Goes all the way up. Then we go through the groove, behind our hook, in front of our hook. Then I'm going to pinch it right above. And you can see there's a little V there. I am going to spin it clockwise.
To the right, to the right.
Clockwise until the twist reaches my fingers. I'm going to park it. I park it under my arm. You can park it between your legs, whichever is most comfortable for you. I do under my arm because I have fiber in my face. It's like on my nose, in my mouth. Because sometimes I want to get close and see it. That's a little too close.
You want to give it a cuddle?
I do want to give it a cuddle. I'm going to cuddle it right here.
Okay,
I'm going to change hands. Okay. I twist the spindle with my right hand. I also draft with my right hand. My left hand's just here.
You just get the twist pinched off.
I have it pinched between. Okay, so when I draft, I actually forward draft. So my right hand is pulling it away from my left hand. Okay, and then I'm going to go an inch-ish. And I'm going to let the twist up into it. Then I'm going to add more twist, spin it clockwise again, till the twist is
If you're having problems with your yarn your fiber getting caught around your spindle, you can flip it over your fingers.
Right.
You can
Mine's
flip
really
it over.
short
Yours is really short, but just so you know, you don't have to have it hanging down. You can flip it all over the place.
Okay, so now I'm going to park it. I added my twist. Change hands again. Okay. light hand here. I'm going to draft it out inch-ish and let the twist go. And then I'm going to add more twist because that is just a repetitive thing here. I'm going to change hands again. I'm going to draft it out and oh no! I broke my roving. You know, really, that's not an oh no. This is how we can change colors. This is how we can change different types of fibers. This is what gives us control. And it's like a magic trick. So I'm going to pinch a little bit under, while still kind of sort of keeping my twist in there. That was like a way crazy trick I did. I kept the twist held.
Lynn wants to know what we can do about sweaty hands. Using a different kind of fiber sometimes helps. Like if you have silk, I wouldn't try silk if your hands tend to get really sweaty.
Angora causes my hands to get really sweaty.
If you keep like a chamois cloth or something, not even a towel, but like something.
You could even put a little powder on your hands.
You can.
If you have really sweaty hands and it's really an issue and you're having a hard time, you can put a little baby powder on your hands.
Yep.
I have the opposite problem. My hands get too dry.
Yeah.
So I laid that fiber over for the join. And I'm going to go that inch-ish. I have the broken part laying on top of the piece that was already still attached. And I'm just going to let it twist together. I'm going to add more twist. And I'm just going to continue on like I was before, changing hands, because we're all joined back up again.
Remember, you don't have to have your fiber in a death grip either. You're just gently doing this. The only thing you're doing is pinching it.
This is so gentle. All I'm doing is pinching here. I'll show you how light. I just did my inch-ish. I'm going to twist, get my twist up to my finger. I can hold it with my pinky. This is all this more I need. I don't need any more than what little strength I have in my pinky to draft my fiber.
Terry, I'm glad you like these videos. If there's something that you want to see us cover, feel free to ask us, either here or in private message, and we will do these for you.
When my fiber gets too long, too much yarn, I'm going to wrap it around. I'm holding that loop because it wants to spin around until I have it locked in, because I can still unspin it. But when it gets locked in, and then I'm just going to spin it around through my groove, behind my hook, in front of my hook. I'm going to spin, park, change hands, inch-ish.
We just do an inch at a time.
It's just an inch at a time. We do the same thing on the wheels. It's just really every pedal is like an inch.
Something like that.
Every time we pedal, it's like an inch.
And when you are doing this, don't feel like you ever have to let your spindle drop. This is people.
Look at how fast I can spin this by. Yeah. I'm already ready to wind back on.
And you don't have to ever feel pressure to let your spindle drop, to be able to walk when you're spindling and do any of that. That stuff all comes with time.
It does come with time. It does come with time.
You are making yarn, and work on your drafting if you don't have to have it thin.
You don't. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can practice making it thick. You can practice any thickness. That is the true mastery of spinning, is to be able to take any fiber and tell it how thick to be.
Right, as opposed to having the fiber just spin however you want it to do.
Where's Ruben?
They're sleeping.
So I'm continuing to change hands repeatedly. Always just an inch-ish. And I'm just a little flick. I feel the twist come up to my fingers. And I go, it doesn't need a lot of twist. And then I'm just going to wind on. And as it starts to get longer, I'm going to do like a back and forth kind of.
That's my favorite part of all spindling, is making that back and forth zigzaggy thing. I don't know, it makes me happy.
It makes you happy?
It does. So
we get a lot of questions on, oh, well, I can't get much yarn spindling. Okay.
Right. Am I ever going to get a usable amount of yarn?
Am I ever going to get a usable amount of yarn? Well, we finally I finished a spindle worth of yarn at this last fiber festival, because I only spindle at the fiber festivals. I know that's really bad.
Well, we tend to be too busy at the shop, or
Right.
we're productioning.
So I spun this. This is a little over an ounce on a spindle right here. It is 100 and
It was 170 yards.
no,
Plied.
107 yards plied. 107 yards plied, 2 ply,
We just plied it back on itself.
and that's off of a spindle.
Right.
I am right now, I am into my second ounce. I split them into roughly 1 ounce. I am on this spindle to where I was on this first yarn when I wound this first yarn off. So that here, and I'll show you how. Okay, if you have a long
And now
piece.
this spindle is one of our spindles that we have here at the shop. And there's no difference in spindles except how smoothly they spin and how fast they
how
go.
fast they spin.
This is a
These
little bit
spin
faster.
fast. So Heather was saying when you have long fiber, you can wrap it over your arm. That keeps it from hanging down and getting it caught up. Same process, and you will see I only do an inch at a time. I twist it, and it's an inch, and then an inch.
Yes,
and
you
an
can
inch.
ply on a spindle.
Yes.
You can either ply directly from the spindle. You can wind them off. Some people have specific plying spindles, which tend to be heavier. They tend to be a 2 or 3 ounce spindle. All those yarns in the middle are 30% off, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. You can ply with the spindle.
I'm just going an inchish each time, and I am letting the twist go up. It's about 2 inches because it's fine when I feel the twist in my fingers. So it's no different than my park and draft, because see, as my spindle slowed way down, I have to wait for that twist to show up before I can let it go up. I have to slow my hands down, and then watch. I will go down. Can I see that?
Yeah.
And then back up on my crop. And I built this crop on my spindle. And as it gets larger, it gets longer.
It gets longer, and also your spindle gets heavier. We
Yes.
recommend starting with a spindle. Most people need a spindle that's about an ounce. It can be a little under. That's 1.3.
This one's 1.3.
All of those are like, yeah, and so.
And this is heavy now that it has an ounce on here, and it's now 2.6 or something. It's really getting heavy.
So when they get heavier, they get faster. So you make more progress, but they are also more work. But there is nothing.
And you have to be more careful that if you are spinning like I am spinning, what will be a lace weight, fingering weight, depends on what I ply it with. I have to wait for more twist before I let it go, because it'll pull that fiber apart. Today I had a gal ask, how do you know when your spindle's full? So this spindle has a ways to go, because in theory I can fill it all the way up to the outside of the whorl. There is another issue that happens as you gain more weight in your spindle, and see how it wobbles? That is not any fault of the spindle. That is, I did not get it wound at some point perfectly balanced in my crop. And that is going to lead to more and more problems as it gains weight.
Yes, we can show how to ply on a spindle. I'm trying to see if we have anything that is pliable.
I think I have a couple of small balls.
Okay. Somewhere
in the roving room. I'll grab a spindle and I'll show you guys how to do that. Here, I'm gonna unwind and I'll go grab
and
that.
we were, everybody thinks the spindling is really slow. In reality, spindle spinning, when you are used to it, here, I'll let you guys look at pretty yarn. When you are used to it, is actually just as fast as spinning on a wheel. It's just a whole different aspect of it. So it's a, very different thing. So
So,
here, I'm gonna set that
okay,
up.
I am.
Okay, I'm gonna lead you guys up. We'll see if we can do this here.
Oh, I
Here.
don't know.
You can do it there, I think. They can see you.
Okay,
Yep.
I can stay as long as I stay right here.
Right there. Don't
Okay,
move.
Heather has to help a customer, and she'll answer questions as soon as she gets back. So I have something really yummy here. I don't know what it is. It might be mohair. Okay, so I am going to kind of tuck it here. This is a little spindle, and it has its two ends. It's a center pull ball, and I am applying from the outside and the inside at the same time. So here's the inside, here's the outside. I'm putting my thumb in it to hold it, and I'm just gonna kind of hold on to it. And I'm going to take this spindle and I am going to spin it counterclockwise. So opposite of what we've been doing, which is it will turn to the left. So I'm adding twist, and then I'm going to just let it go down as the twist builds. And then I will just wind it on. So as the twist builds,
Both the empathy and I have a little bit.
and then I just will wind it on to the crop, and build a crop with it.
Yeah, it's a little bit. They're very good.
And then I'll do it again. And I'm just pulling it out. My spindle's gonna go backwards because I'm not very fast at this.
Right.
And that is me, not the spindle.
Right. I've used this for.
This is a very fast spindle, so it adds a lot of twist really, really, really fast. This one's faster than the big one I was spinning on just a little while ago. It's perfect for lace weight. These little lightweight ones, I have to say my favorite way to spin Angora is on a spindle.
Right.
I'll let that twist go up there.
Oh, where do you live?
Now I'm gonna wind it on.
Right.
But I love coming in when I come down.
Yeah.
It wants
I love
to,
that you're here.
of course, curl up because, you know,
Oh, I hope they make it because, you know,
it will
it's
do
such
that a little
such
bit.
neat, so to speak.
Right.
But there are more and more
But it's
people
the
that are
same
There's a
kind
lot.
of scenario
Yeah, exactly.
as
Right.
spindling.
It's
It's,
very fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'm just
Then we have
going
50% off
with
here, so Like I
it.
said, everything in this corner or in the center section, I don't have marked.
Oh, okay.
But these are both 30%
Yeah.
off, and then all of this down here is 30%
And this
off.
is pretty sharp. This, I don't have my glasses. Is this? Oh, that's long.
Mama. It would be too.
And then when it gets long enough,
There's one she's like, yeah, so feel free to touch
Yeah.
it on
Oh, that's
Thank you.
I'm gonna have
You're
Heather
welcome.
check comments here real quick. She's coming back around.
I'm not going to step on you.
So I'm just gonna continue applying.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. Is it easier to start with a spinner or versus a wheel? It depends completely on what you are doing. Some people do really well with the spindle. Some people do really well with a wheel. Learning, there's no difference in what you're doing with it. It is completely, the only difference
It's
is
the
your
same
feet.
hand movement.
The only difference is you're adding your feet. So
with
actually,
a
wheels are a little bit harder for a lot of people to learn. Just because they are, it's like rubbing your belly and patting your head
At the same
time. So you have to do two things at once. They traditionally, we used to tell when I started, everybody would say, "Oh, it's so much. You can become a better spinner if you start on a spindle." I could not spindle for a really long time.
I could not spindle prior to spinning on a wheel
Yeah,
either.
it's like it was so
But-
frustrating to me.
After I learned to spin on my wheel, I learned how to spindle, and it like just came all of a sudden, like all that movement and feeling
Right.
and everything.
I couldn't figure out even how to flick a spindle. Okay, I was so bad. Part of that too is that we all think that all spindles are equal, and they aren't. There are a lot of really bad spindles.
Mine could have been had I learned how to draft and stuff with a spindle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told to park it between my knees. And that is uncomfortable for
Right.
me. And I do not see very many people say park it under your arm.
Right,
That
and in
is-
reality, you can see
That
what
is
you're
one
doing.
of our personal things that we tell people is to park it under their arm. I find it so much easier to park under my arm than to
Right.
park between my knees. Yeah,
And I think
being
people-
ladylike be damned. It takes a lot of muscle to sit there
With
and
your knees
hold a
together.
spindle between your knees. Okay, maybe if this was the 50s, we'd have all those muscles developed. But it's not the 50s, and half of us sit around at home with our knees spread like men, because it really is more comfortable to sit that way.
Right. And there's a lot of people who, I think that people think that spindling, I know I did, it looks so easy that people don't understand, just like spinning it is, which is why it is a skill, which is why we have everybody start under your arm, and there is no pressure. Just focus on that little tiny skill set.
Well, and I would say, because your yarn is already developed when you ply, I would spin your first yarn as a park and draft, and then practice just dropping it as the
As a
spinning,
ply. Mhm.
as a ply. Because you don't have to worry about it falling apart as a ply. And look how quickly that crop has built
Right.
as a ply. This is not as slow as everybody makes it out to be.
No, it's really not that much slower than a wheel.
And plying, it goes faster.
No, I will say we still haven't gotten a huge project done on a spindle because, A, we don't do huge projects because we
We're really bad at that. B, I don't take the time to spindle. If I'm going to sit around my house and spin, it's going to be on my wheel where I can be lazy and slouch, and I don't have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
I only spindle spin at the shows.
The advantage to spindling is that you can, for $18, you can buy a kit and you are on your way
Right?
to doing anything you want. If you want a fancy spindle, it's $75. If you want a fancy wheel, it's $1,700.
Right?
That is the difference. Is there's a lot of zeros in the difference between wheels and spindles.
Right, because you are not going to get a good, well-made working wheel for $100.
Right. You can get a top of the line spindle
For $125.
Right.
It's just that.
And I
And
take
I can-
spindles when I travel. Still.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I have spindles in, like, literally, I have spindles in glove compartments that just sit in the glove compartment with a little tiny bit of fiber.
I always, I have this project on this spindle here at the shop. I kind of want to finish it. I might finish that ounce.
That's really pretty.
It's really pretty. It's a lot of fun. It makes me kind of want to finish that ounce on that spindle before the next show, because I'm not sure I really want to wait till the next show to finish it. Because I think it would make a beautiful yarn. I have a plan for it. I spun some thick and thin on the wheel in white. Heather said it was ugly.
It's white.
It's white. It's not exciting.
It's not ugly. It's just white.
It's Corriedale Angora. It's gorgeous fiber. It'll be so cool. They'll look like fat little clouds in between rainbows in this rainbow.
And Danielle has to miss our next show. If anybody's going to Fat Lamb and Scio, it's going to be just me. It's going to be really fun.
So hang out with Heather, because
Right.
I won't be there. I will be
On a secret mission?
I have joined the circus.
Right. She's going to be on a secret mission.
I've joined the circus, and I'll be gone that week.
It's going to be great fun.
It will be.
Jack, stop it.
I will be huffing lanolin fumes at farms.
So
If I get a chance, I will do a Facebook Live video here and there to share with you guys what I'm up to.
if not, she's going to keep a diary.
I'm supposed
I'm
to keep
making
a
her.
diary.
I'm making her one of those travel books. Like we make the kids
part of
do.
me is almost like maybe I should check into the Facebook page every day, and I could go, "Dear Pearly Shell,
Right?
how I miss the days where I was just giving Facebook Live demos of spindling. Today, Corey made me chase down 150 head of
She
400
said
pound sheep.
there's a ram out there. It's your job to get it. That's what she...
Did she just say that?
No!
Oh,
No.
God.
Look at her panic. There's a little bit of panic.
I'm like, seriously? Okay, I haven't
Meanwhile-
wrestled rams in a long time.
Meanwhile, I'll be here going, no, it's all good. I wish I was in, the boondocks.
In the boondocks
Doing
wrestling
that.
sheep.
In the dust. And
the
instead, I'm sitting here, look at the boats. It's great. Let's do a Facebook Live video on spinning yarn
With boats.
with boats in it, because that's what I have. I have dogs and boats and yarn. It's very peaceful.
No, mine, yeah. So, is there any more questions?
No, I
I'm
think
just going to
that's-
keep playing. I think this is mohair. Is this mohair? I have no clue what this is.
I think that is mohair. I think so.
Clue.
Speaking of mohair, we have Angora rabbits at the shop tomorrow.
Angora rabbits do not have mohair.
Nope.
Only Angora goats have mohair because they grow mohair than Angora rabbits.
Right?
That was just for Alan.
That was just for all of us, okay?
I
Because we
mean,
have to say it every
seriously.
time.
I do have to say it every time.
So, and then...
But it's amazing how many aha moments that creates.
Right? We'll say that like it's educational. And then we have...
It's like the groaner joke of education. There you go.
So we have the Angora bunnies here tomorrow for the day before Easter. We still have clearance yarn, and we have, if you need a spindle lesson, Danielle isn't here tomorrow, but you can come in and I will do stuff.
I could take a spindle with me.
You could,
I could
you
take
can take your
spindles with
spindle.
me. And if you just happen to be in Lincoln City, we will be somewhere. I think the pool.
Probably because it's underwater basket weaving.
It's not underwater basket weaving, but that's what I've been calling it all along. My children are competing in the underwater robotics competition.
So I'm making her go. No, just kidding. She
No,
wanted to go.
I'm going to be the good supportive parent. And because part of me I said, no, guys, I want you to save your robots. I was really tired that night. I want you at conferences. It was like after all the conferences, they're like, do you want to see our robots? And I'm like, okay, I just talked to like 13 teachers about your academics and you want to show me a robot now? This is like parenting truths here. And I'm like, no, guys, I'm going to keep it a surprise and I will wait until the competition to see your finished robots.
Yep.
Right. So
She's going to do that.
I have to go
With
do that.
spindle.
I have to follow through
Yep.
with a spindle.
With a spindle.
I will take a spindle with me. It does not mean I will be spindling. I'll probably have yarn instead because if I drop yarn in a bleachers, it's easier to retrieve than a spindle. Just saying.
That'd be kind of awesome. If that happens.
What's Danielle doing rooting around under the bleachers? Hiding. That's what I'm doing. Drop my spindle again. Sorry.
Yep.
Be under the bleachers where there's no people and it's quiet.
Yes. It's going to be great.
It will be fantastic.
No, it's fun. And spindling is great because you can take it everywhere, because you could not take your spinning wheel to most pools. I mean, you could.
I'm not taking my spinning wheel to the pool. You know, spinning wheels do not like huge changes in
I
humidity.
have taken my spinning wheel to a pool a couple times.
Because what?
Because long-term swimming, you know, those kids used to swim like for hours, okay?
You know, when I was a kid, we just got dropped off.
No, I had to sit there. A lot of times I was on vacations. I have taken spinning wheels to pools.
Oh my gosh.
I've only done knitting when we used to go to the water park, so I would take knitting.
It's a little splashier.
It was, yeah. So, but that is the advantage, is that you can take your spindle anywhere. She can have this in her coat pocket and spindle in a line at a grocery store.
I could also use it in a case of an emergency as a shiv. So,
we do like sharpened spindles because of that.
Right.
When we had them made for ourselves.
There are times in life where you might need a personal self-defense weapon.
At least, well, if nothing else, it makes you look a little bit odd, so they tend to leave you alone.
They leave us alone anyways, but...
Yeah.
Except for my friend at freaking fair. I made a friend.
We're not talking about the friends that we make at the fairs. Yeah. So no, it's good. And you were not spindling either. You were on a spinning wheel.
I was.
They
and
think
it wasn't
that
scary
It wasn't scary.
enough.
So if anybody else has any questions, we're going to end this. And you are almost done playing. You're not almost done playing.
Almost done playing.
Are you almost done playing?
I am almost done playing this. I'm down to the last little bit, like where I pull on it and it pinches my fingers in that center pull ball.
Right, because when you can ply it from the center pull ball.
Okay, so benefits applying from a center pull ball.
Let's see if I can get closer
This
to you doing this.
is going to go on a spinning wheel and a spindle, both. You know, a center pull ball, you don't end up with uneven bits on
Right.
leftover bobbins. You don't have to try to
She
spin.
said, Drea says spindles are not for self-defense. You have to get the blood out of the yarn. That is true.
That, or you just call it creative art.
It's hand-dyed.
You know, with cold water and some vinegar, it might just wash out.
You know, you can get over that Clorox cleaner stuff.
I don't recommend bleaching your wool.
Just saying, it got the stains out of the bathtub.
Yeah, it gets the stains out of bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost done plying this.
Yeah, it's,
I don't even know how much this is.
and we don't do support spindles here very often. Neither Danielle or I are.
I have never been
We
taught how
have
to do
never
it,
been
and it
taught
doesn't
correctly.
make sense
We
in my
have
head.
we have to take a class.
Somebody has to teach me how to do that. Shannon, where are you?
Yeah, we need to go over. We need to find somebody.
She needs
do
to
it.
bring me a bunny.
Mhm.
I don't know what color. Chocolate tort. Make me a really red chocolate tort, Shannon. And bring me a bunny and teach me how to spin.
Buffy and Shelley say hydrogen peroxide removes blood. We're fine.
Oh, see,
See.
look. That's why we keep you around, Shelley, is for you to tell us how to get blood out of
'cause
our
we have-
wool.
Not that would ever happen.
Not that
You
there's...
know, though, I really want to get belts for our. Okay, this is like a goal.
Oh.
Before a summer goal, and we're running out of time. So if anybody can tell us where to find them, before Black Sheep Gathering, which is in July, I really want to get us belts for our pirating things that have a spindle loop, so we could have a spindle.
Right, a
Like,
loop for the
a-
spindles,
like
for the long spindles.
Well, no, I was thinking for the little ones, but
Nope.
the spindle swords. Right, but we can't
Because
really...
we now have two. We have a Salish spindle and a Navajo spindle.
Yeah. So I would like to do that because that would be really fun.
Which those are like long spindle swords.
The spindle swords.
Yep.
I couldn't carry one until Danielle got one. I don't know what her problems. Anyway, but
Because she almost stabbed people with hers in excitement when she first got it. Okay, I took
really
my
exciting.
thumb out because my thumb was getting tangled in it.
But we can hello. We can do that. But I really want to get like a costume thing with like a belt with a magic.
It'd be really awesome if it has a corn bag attached to
Right?
it. For
So like
our
the coin is on the one side, spindle's on the other side, and we're like armed.
Right. You know, medieval wear, anybody do that? What is it called? CSACAS.
The magic.
SCA. Those people who dress up medieval times were really bad at that.
Right.
That's why we do not do Ren fairs. We get asked all the time if we do Ren fairs.
Ruben, come here, Ruben. Come touch.
Ruben.
Come touch. Yay!
Ruben.
He's like, yeah. Yay, I'm going the other way.
Oh, monkey.
Good girl, Aria. Good girl. Somebody comes in and Ruben's like, they're not holding onto my leash. I'm going
I
to go
know.
with them.
He totally woke up from his nap and he blew us off.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now SCA.
SCA.
We don't do it because we can't say. We don't do it because we'd be really bad at remembering it.
Because we do not pick one era. Look,
Ruben.
I'm down to the very end.
Yes, we made Danielle made it
Okay, so guys, here you go. I just plied that whole yarn.
in that one little and easy
Easy.
touch. Good girl. All right, you guys have fun.
So, happy
And-
spindling.
Yes, and our final word, do not use the spindles made out of CDs. You will fail. Get
will
yourself
fail.
a spindle.
You will fail if you use the ones out of the little wooden tire wheel things.
Get a good spindle.
Get a good spindle. If you don't know where to find a good spindle, let us know. We will totally help you. If you go, well, none of yours make Spark Joy, we can send you to makers that make beautiful spindles. Those 3D printed spindles, they're too light.
Yes, they have to be wood.
Especially the 3D Turkish, way too light. I can barely spin on one of them. And I have a mini Turkish that is like this big, and I can spin on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Final word, get a good spindle.
Get a
Don't
good
use a
spindle.
CD. Don't listen to people who say that you can just put a pencil in a potato. That would be better than a CD.
Seriously, it would be better than a
but
CD.
Don't spend your time, spend your money, get a good spindle.
Seriously, $18.
And you get the fiber and the spindle.
You get the fiber and the spindles.
And that includes shipping.
Yeah.
So,
and us.
Right.
All the time?
All the time.
Come on, how much better does it get?
Right. All right, you guys have fun.